What's going on, guys? Once again, it's your boy Delwan coming to you live from Belize City with a new deck profile. So, I've been inspired by a couple of my friends to create a new deck going outside of my element. So, I'm looking into the Pendulum deck, which is pretty awesome. So, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Alright, so uh, basically, the deck is control. Along with control, it has mad consistency. So the cards that we're playing in this deck, we're actually playing the Endion engine. Alright. So we're running one Dragon Pit Magician, one Mythical Beast Master Cerberus. This guy is only needed at one. Two of Endion, one Dragon Collar Magician, one Destrudo, one Supreme King Gate 0, one Mythical Beast King Jackal. For that's an additional negate. We're running 3 Chronograph Sorcerer just so that we could extend the board. We're running 3 of Servant of Endemnion, 1 Time Gazer Magician for Chronograph Graph Sorcerer just to pop off and get that special summon into Electromite. We're running 3 Magister of Endemnion. Now, Magister of Endemnion, once we get our monsters in the extra deck zone, and he has enough 3 spell counters, we could pop off those spell counters, special summon 1 spellcasting monster from the extra deck, and Magister of Endemnion. This isn't once per turn, guys. So you could actually use Magister and Servant of Endemnion more than once, as long as you have the spell counters on the field on the field to remove. We're running 1 Toon Magician, 2 Abyss Actor Curtains, again another extender, 1 Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm, 1 Odd Eyes Persona Dragon for another negate. Going into the spell cards, we're running 3 Allure of Darkness. I chose to use 3 Allure of Darkness since it just removes 1 from the hand, plus it gives you a +2. So I prefer using this over Pot of Desires, because Pot of Desires actually takes away 10 cards from the deck, and if you notice, we're only playing a couple of 1-ups. So we don't want to get rid of those 1-ups, we want to actually draw into it. So this is a pretty powerful card to use at 3 especially. We're running 3 Duelist Alliance. Now with Duelist Alliance, once we control a Pendulum, once we have a card in the Pendulum zone, we can add 1 Pendulum monster or a Pendulum spell trap card from the deck to your hand. That goes perfectly with Pendulum Call. So we're running Pendulum Call at 2. Alright, and with Pendulum Call we actually have 3 magicians, well I'm sorry, 4 magicians in the deck that we could actually use. So we're using, we have 4 targets, alright, 2 Magician, Dragon Pit, and Time Gazer Magician. Yeah, so we actually have 4, and Dragon Collar Magician, we have 4 targets. Alright, so we're actually running 3 Spell Power Breaths. Again, this gives us counters so that we could pop off those cool effects. We're running 1 Dragon Shrine, 1 Upstart Goblin, just for additional draw power, 1 Foolish Burial, just so that we could get either Destrudo or we can get Dark Worm to the graveyard so that we could get that free extender. 3 Into the Void. Now this card is pretty awesome also, because once we have 3 or more cards in your hand, we could draw 1 card, and with Pendulum we already know that we're gonna exhaust our hand and get those out, so we don't really have to pay the cost end of the turn. And we're running 1 Endemnion Slab and 1 Magical Citadel of Endemnion. Alright, we already know what these card does. This one is special. You could remove 6 counters. Once the spellcaster is destroyed by battle, special summon 1 level 7 or higher spellcaster monster from your hand or deck, and we can only activate this effect once per turn. So once we pop off Endemnion's effect by negating a card, we could actually special summon him back out immediately with this card. Alright, or we could special summon him back out immediately once we have Skull Dread on the field. So going into the extra deck, we are running one Police Patrol of the Underworld, uh, one Cerberus, one Heavy Foes Electromite, one Phoenix, one Skull Dread, one Burrow Sword Dragon, one Avermax, Mech Crusader Avermax, OP, dope card. We're running one Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon just for burn damage and for control. We're running one Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, one Hope Harbinger. We're also running for additional interruption synchros, FA Dawn Dragster, and a Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. This effect's pretty dope. Once this card is special summoned, you can special summon one. Target one card in your Pendulum zone, special summon it. Also, this card cannot attack. So once we do this, we could pop off, special summon him, special summon out from our extra deck. From the extra deck, one Dragon Caller Magician, or any other levels. Well, any actually, and then we could just go into other effects. So we could go into level 7 plays, or we could go into level 8 plays once we could pop this effect off. We're actually using Cyber's Quantum Dragon also as protection. Overload Savage Dragon for an additional negate, and Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon for an additional negate. So we could pretty much get a lot of negates on the board. For example, if we go into a Heavy Foes Electromite, and then we Synchro Summon into, let's say, this guy, Odd Eyes, Meteor Burst, alright. From there we could just go and pop off Electromite's effect. Electromite will then give us the opportunity to draw a card, add a card. From there we could send those two. I'm sorry, let's say we have a level 7 in the extra deck zone, special summon the level 7, overlay the level 7 into Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, then we'll send the Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon along with Electromite and bring out Mech Crusader Avermax. Alright, so once after that, the effect of Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon will trigger, which will special summon one dragon from the extra deck. We'll special summon out Vortex Dragon. So at that point, we'll have Avermax on the field, we'll have this negate, so that's just 2 negates, alright? And remember, we haven't Pendulum summoned this yet, so we could still go into bigger plays, bigger boards, whereby we could have Endemnion and also Mythical Beast Jackal on the field. That way we'll have a ton of negates, guys. Once again, for the going into the side deck, we know that we have a lot of decks in this meta which is trap heavy, so we want to lock those decks off with 2, well, you could run 3 red reboots. Still looking for additional 2 cards. As you can see, I only have 13 in the extra deck, well, in the side deck at this time. We're running 2 red reboot, 2 Denka Seka, 3 Dino Wrestler Prankatops, 3 Lava Golem, and 3 Winged Dragon of Ra. Now the reason we're using these is to break boards, guys. We know that we have a lot of combo based deck. The new effect monster that came out, which is 5 or more, people will tend to play around those, so we don't really want to use that. But if they do have a limited board, we could break your board with a Lava Golem or Raw Spearman. Alright, so this is my version of the Pendulum deck that I just came up with this idea earlier today, well, just a few minutes ago. Kind of let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Big ups to my Patreons, Misael, Chris Main, Megs, Aldo in the US. Big up some of the guys from Belize also, Andre, Jonathan, Vince, George. You guys know who you are. Subscribe, guys. Let me know what you think. Peace.